United States government calls Nelson Delgado.
Mr. Delgado, if you would, please, sir, you'd come up here. I swore you earlier, did I not?
Yes, sir.
All right, fine, thank you. Just have a seat right there. If you would, please, tell us your name.
My name is Nelson Delgado.
And where do you live, Mr. Delgado?
Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Mr. Delgado, your present occupation, sir?
I'm a chef.
In 1959, you were in the Marine Corps, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And stationed at the Marine Air Control Squadron number 9 in Santa Ana, California, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And in the same unit with you was Lee Harvey Oswald?
Yes, sir.
You were his squad leader?
Yes, I was.
Did you get to know Mr. Oswald fairly well?
Yes, I did.
Could you briefly describe Mr. Oswald for the jury?
A very quiet, intellectual young man, a loner. He liked to listen to classical music and played chess as his main game.
Oswald told you, did he not, that he was an atheist?
Yes, he did.
And you also discussed with him Karl Marx, and you discerned that he was a follower of Karl Marx, is that
Yes.
correct? Did you ever see Marx's book, Das Kapital, in Oswald's possession?
Yes, I did.
He also got a Russian paper that he subscribed to?
Yes, he did.
Because of his Marxist leanings, did his fellow Marines call him communist names?
Yes, they did.
Like what?
Corporal Dijanovic used to call him Oswaldovich.
Did Oswald speak Russian?
Yes, he did.
Did he try to teach you Russian?
He did.
Mr. Delgado, as I understand it, you had many conversations with Oswald about the American system of government.
We did.
What did he say to you in that?
Our present form of government didn't have anything to offer to the common people, and he resented our way of life, you know.
Was he a fervent supporter of Fidel Castro?
He was a reverent supporter of Fidel Castro. He was 130% behind him, and I was at the same time as well.
Did he say anything about going to Cuba and helping Castro in the revolution?
Yes, he did.
What discussion did you have with him in this regard?
How he could go about winning the friendship of the Cuban people and helping Castro in his struggle.
And did you learn thereafter that he, in fact, did go to the Cuban
consulate? He made contact with
in Los Angeles?
Yes, he did.
Mr. Delgado, it's true, is it not, that Oswald discussed extradition treaties with you in the context of if someone committed a crime in the United States, what countries he could go to where they could not extradite him back?
Yes, sir, he did.
Mr. Delgado, I believe you've testified before the Warren Commission that on the rifle range, Oswald was kind of a joke, a pretty big joke.
Yes, he was.
You're aware that at the time Oswald was doing poorly on the range, he was about to be released from the Marines. Is that correct?
Yes, he was.
Are you aware that in 1956, when Oswald first joined the Marines and was going through basic training, he fired a .212 on the rifle range with an M1 rifle, which made him a sharpshooter at that time? You're aware of that?
Yes.
Given the fact that Oswald was about to get out of the Marines when he was in your unit, and the fact that he showed no interest in firing on the range, you don't attribute his poor showing on the range to his being a poor shot?
No.
He could have done better, you felt, if he tried.
Certainly.
Thank you, Mr. Delgado. No further questions.
Mr. Spence?
Mr. Delgado, you and I have never met, have we?
No, sir.
Never talked?
No, sir.
Actually, Mr. Delgado, you left the United States and have lived in England, and did live in England for 3 years because you were afraid to go back to the United States because of your fear of reprisal from the FBI for the testimony that you gave to the Warren Commission. Isn't that true?
That's true, sir.
As a matter of fact, you believe that somebody tried to kill you. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
And as a matter of fact, you think that was the FBI, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And you and your family left then, and you moved after this. They tried to kill you, and you went into Arkansas. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
No further questions.
Now, Nelson, I'm not going to ask you why you think what you do, because there's a lot of people that think a lot of things. But Nelson, if the FBI wanted to get you, buddy, don't you think they could do it?
Sir, I don't want to argue the point, but I have on records when I left England a letter covering myself in case I would die in any unreasonable way.
But you haven't made yourself scarce throughout the years, have you?
They know where I'm at.
But they haven't come after you in 23 years, have they?
It's past now. I'm just old news right now.
Okay. Thank you, Nelson.
Okay, Mr. Delgado, you may step down.
One other question. actually shot in the shoulder, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
No other questions.
Okay, Mr. Delgado. Thank you,
you.
sir. All right. Call your next witness.